Hello. Yeah, now you can hear me. Welcome. I invite everybody to have a seat. We're about to start in a minute. Welcome. Good to see some familiar faces and some new faces here. All right, so hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the third demo day of Accelerator Frankfurt. Woo, yeah, definitely. Great. So we are here today in order to, after actually 4 months of program, to present a very exciting evening, and I'm really happy that you're here because I'm sure within an hour and a half you're going to be more knowledgeable about what's happening in the fintech and generally in the entrepreneurship industry here, and specifically through Accelerator Frankfurt. So my name is Liron Glickman. I'm a business relationship consultant from Israel. I work with startups and companies all around the world, and I'm so happy to be here today, my second day here with Accelerator Frankfurt. Basically, you know, it's all about people, and it's all about people and passionate people that makes changes in the world. And today we're going to basically review different startups and people that made a difference. We're going to have inspiring speakers that are going to speak here in a bit. We're going to see some of the most promising technologies that may change the way we live in the coming months or years. And after that, we're going to have a very fun and exciting networking session. We're going to have a live band, great catering, and of course, you can meet with the startups. You see their stands, you can approach them and set some personal meetings to have a great ending for this evening. Now, my friends, if you're posting any photos online, I definitely recommend to use our hashtag for tonight, which is hashtag DemoDayFFM, hashtag DemoDayFFM. And of course, we are live on Facebook, so if you couldn't make it here, and if some of the startups have some family and friends overseas, you can definitely invite them to our Facebook page, Accelerator Frankfurt, so they could see you and us live. So, the world is changing. We all changing. Consumer behavior is changing, and definitely in the banking, fintech, cyber security industry, everything in change. And big companies, big banks, big corporations understand that they must have fast change. And this change comes through connection to startups, through connection to innovation that can rapidly get into the consumer hands. And this is exactly why Accelerator Frankfurt is here. This is exactly the great value that it brings to the community. And I would like to invite and introduce the co-founders of this great accelerator. So we have Miss Maria Pananen, which voted leading woman in tech in Dutch, which is Germany, Switzerland, and Austria. She is the CEO of Monetization.ai and an investor. Hello, Maria. Definitely, she deserves it. We will see her soon on the stage in a minute as well. And I would like to invite the founder of Accelerator Frankfurt, Mr. Ram Shoham, which is veteran of over 16 years in the financial industry. And if you are surprised or not, is also an award-winning surfer. Please come on stage, and thank you so much for this evening.
Thank you, Liron. Thank you, everybody, for being here. First of all, happy 2018. So happy New Year to all of you. It's fantastic to see familiar faces. I have to say 2018 is a special year for me because this is our year, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it. Yeah, familiar faces, friends we've made along the way. I also noticed that Dr. Bernadette Weiland was here, or is here, running for mayor of Frankfurt in the elections next month. I'm not much of a politician myself, but I see that we're building a startup ecosystem, and governmental support is quite important. So it's good to see this. What was I going to say now? Yeah, I made Frankfurt my home about 4 years ago. I'm here to stay forever, hopefully. I love this city. I'm an ex-banker turned entrepreneur. Since 2009, been helping startups raise financing. And when I arrived to Frankfurt, I was thinking to myself, how can I work in my passion, which is entrepreneurship, working with entrepreneurs. So I started studying actually about startup ecosystems, because 4 years ago there was nothing in Frankfurt when it comes to startups. And I did a research. Long story short, I found that every good startup ecosystem in the world, including Tel Aviv, London, Silicon Valley, they all share a few common traits. And I found that Frankfurt has those traits, almost all of them. You need to have good universities with good talented people to support the entrepreneurs. You need to have people who start startups. I'm a finance guy. Obviously, fintech, cybersecurity is something very close to us. And normally, who's going to start a fintech? It's probably going to be somebody who was in a bank and has a lot of experience and knowledge. And banks are not hiring nowadays as much as they used to, so there will be a lot of people probably starting startups in the fintech side. There needs to be money. You all know that this region is a very wealthy region. Unfortunately, all the money goes to VCs in Berlin. So let's hope we can keep it in this region. And every startup ecosystem has a supportive government in one way or another. And today we're here in Tech Quartier, which is a government initiative. And it's basically a statement that, yes, something is being done in Frankfurt. But the fifth and most crucial part for a thriving startup ecosystem are programs like accelerators and incubators, because they bring and push the startups into the market. And I found that this was missing in Frankfurt. And working with startups since 2009, helping them raise financing, I saw, okay, this is basically what an accelerator does. We're helping them with a connection to the investor side, but as well to the business side. The banks are here. Fintechs need banks, especially in the B2B side that we're focused. So Maria and I decided to take our life savings and place a bet on this city, because it's a city we want to stay in. And look what we've achieved with actually quite a limited budget, not a big budget. And it's amazing to see this. And it's also a research that I've done recently about programs. And I have to say, you don't need to pour millions into programs, into incubators, into accelerators. You can do this lean and mean. And this is what we preach to our startups. Stay lean and mean and agile. And this is what we're doing. We're staying lean and mean. Why? Because the millions should not go to programs. They should go to startups. Invest in startups. It's the only way to raise an ecosystem and make it thriving. And this is what I know from Israel, and this is why many Israelis are here as well. It's very important. So 2017 was a very hard year. 16-hour working days, 6-7 days a week. Anybody here who's an entrepreneur and build a business understands that. But at the same time, it was a fun year. It was probably the most fun I've had in my life, working-wise. Fantastic year. We've had great startups. In 2017, we've been through 21 startups and grown our family of entrepreneurs to more than 100 entrepreneurs that we work with. And it's just fun to be surrounded by them. Tonight, you're going to see our third wave. So every wave is 4 months. Very intense, 2 years condensed into 4 months. Tonight you will see our third wave, which is a fantastic wave. And guys, I know I've given you a very hard time, the startups that are presenting here. But we're building a track record. We're building a reputation. Your success is our success. And this is the reason. It all culminates here. I say it to every startup that goes through our accelerator, you never really leave an accelerator. We're here for you. Hopefully after today, you perhaps get good business leads, investment leads. We're happy to help you whenever you need it. I wish the startups of the third wave best of luck. Please give them a hand for their hard work. Let me skip to this slide. So yeah, the program, the Accelerator program could not happen without the support of our strategic partners. I want to start with Define. It's a consulting firm in the risk and finance sector. When we started with them, Egbert is there, hi. When we started with them, there were 600 mathematicians and physicists. Now there are 700 mathematicians and physicists. So they're doing something right, they're growing. 800, okay. So very good. We had a meeting last week with one of your guys, by the way, with a startup, and that's when I heard the 700. But 800, that's fantastic. I mean, they're supporting our startups fantastically. It's just amazing the connections that they're creating and helping the startups along the way with the pilot projects. So Define, thank you very much for the support from day one since Accelerator Frankfurt was created. The next one, we need the legal side, and Taylor Wessing has been there with us this program. And it's amazing that such a large law firm can turn around so quickly. You know, the startups, we need things done yesterday, you know, and these lawyers, they're there every time we need them. Hassan, are you around? Yay! Hello. So, yes, thank you very much for the support and hope to continue a good year, 2018. Die Firma. Unfortunately, the guys are working tonight on a big project. Die Firma is a digital marketing and communications firm. And from Wiesbaden, very, very passionate people. And they add so much content to our program. Startups need to learn how to communicate, how to pitch, how to handle meetings, all their material and so forth. Die Firma is helping them along the way with that. So thank you very much for that. And last but not least, of course, we have a partner accelerator in Israel called A2B, which is partner also of Microsoft Ventures. And they help us a lot with content and also communicating in the Israeli market. So a big hand to our strategic partners, because without them it wouldn't work. Thank you very much. I don't have much more to go, don't worry. But I do want to say, I'm talking about startups. You know that 50% of our job is actually corporates. We are a B2B focused accelerator, and we need to be and work close with the corporate side. The startups cannot survive if they don't have customers. And in 2017, we've done a lot of workshops with innovation managers, with strategies at the corporate side. We've helped them engage with startups, and we even help them also scouting for the relevant solutions for them. So the corporate side is very important, and this is one reason you see around here, there's this brochure here, which we decided to print. It contains 3 of the most common workshops we do with corporates, with banks, Mittelstand companies, insurance companies. And the feedback has been really fantastic. Motivated employees and helping them engage with the startups and so forth. So really being an accelerator is not only startups, half of our work is really working with the corporate side. And every cycle that we bring, we need to engage the corporate on what they think, if the startup is relevant to even bring to Frankfurt or not. Yes, 2017, it's all about people at the end of the day. When we work with the corporates, we do find actually these digital champions. This single person in a very large corporate who wants to push things forward and get a pilot going, get the startup in. And it's really fantastic to see that. At the early of last year, we were running a pilot, and the guy from the bank, I actually asked him, I mean, why are you so excited, energetic to push this? He was talking to maybe 50 people in his bank just to get the pilot going. And he says, you need to have fun. I mean, if you don't enjoy your work and you're not willing to play, then what's the point? So really, we really hope to find more people like that within the organizations. And also corporates need people like that if they want to keep up with digitization. Because as you'll hear from our keynote speaker, it's very important for large corporates to engage with startups. So we did that pilot early 2017, and I remember the entrepreneur was quite worried about it. But I told him, look, you don't need to worry. I would not recommend you to the corporate side if I didn't believe you have something good going on. But it's normal to be worried. And I told him, you're entering the tube ride. Tube ride. Let me show you what is the tube ride. So, yes, surfing is my life, my passion. I try to get a wave about 5-6 times a year. And the tube ride, I will tell you about, I've surfed thousands of waves. I remember the best ones of them. I also remember the terrible ones. And I'll never run out of stories about surfing. I'll tell you about the best tube I got in my life. You're going to like it. So it was an early morning, offshore wind, a good swell was coming. I was the first or second surfer in the water. The sun was rising. And I'm just waiting there, thinking of nothing, and a wave is approaching me. A big set is approaching me, and I start paddling. I say, yeah, this is going to be fantastic. And I'm paddling, and the wave is lifting me, and I'm looking down. It's fantastic, and I push my board, stand up, bend over, make the drop. Okay, so I'm dropping down, and I look backwards, and I see a big wall of water behind me. Okay, what do? And I look down, and about 30 meters down, that wall of water is still there. Yes? So imagine this wall is water. And I have the right equipment, I have the experience, I'm in the right place at the right time, have the perfect wave, just make the turn, position myself, and the wave basically breaks above me, and I'm in the tube. And it's, and I'm like, yeah, go, and I see it coming out, and I'm like, wow, nobody saw it because I was the first surfer in the water, you know, so, but amazing feeling. And it's a feeling that an entrepreneur, when he succeeds and he gets his company to the next level, he feels that feeling. It's fantastic. So that's what I call the tube ride, because this entrepreneur that was doing the pilot, he had the right equipment, he had the right team, he had the right experience, he was at the right place at the right time, and he had a big wave, a big bank coming towards him. And this is why I think Accelerator Frankfurt this year is entering the tube ride. 2017 was a hard year. We've built a very good business. The ecosystem is just getting better. This is our year. So enjoy the evening, and I hope you like the startups. Thank you for your attention. Thank you.